This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
With licensed psychologist and guest John Delatorre.
Jennifer Crumbley found guilty in a groundbreaking verdict, an impact that we still will not know the full repercussions of for many years to come. Jury finding her guilty of involuntary manslaughter in her son's school shooting. Joining me to discuss this, Dr. John Delatorre. John, this is one that, like I said, the repercussions of this verdict are going to be very far-reaching. What was your overall reaction to this verdict?
Honestly, that I'm not surprised. You know, I think a lot of parents might be a little bit concerned about what this says about how they are supposed to raise their children. Mm-hmm. Meaning, some parents may take this to mean that they have to raise their children to act a certain way and be a certain way, or else they themselves, the parents, will be found guilty of whatever crime that their child has committed. I think what this is actually saying, though, is you can't be ambivalent anymore, right? You can't just, spend time in your own head. And you, as a parent, you have to always be the parent. You can never be a friend. You can never be anything other than that. And I think what happened here is that the jury saw that there are times when Jennifer Crumbley wasn't a parent, when she was too busy wrapped up in her own world, when she was too busy thinking about what she was going to be doing next for her own benefit, to the detriment of Ethan. Now, Ethan, he's a problem, right? Yeah. And he's already been found guilty. This isn't taking responsibility of the crime away from Ethan. What this is saying is that parents have to pay attention, and you have to always be involved in your child's life.
And that's very true. And it's on the surface easy to understand. As a parent, I get it. I try to be involved in my children's life as much as I possibly can be. And I'm a lucky one. I feel like I have more time. I don't have to work multiple jobs after this one. In the evening, I can be there with my kids. We can do things. We can spend time. And I love that. But even that, the fact that I'm blessed enough to do that, there's still a lot of times where I feel like, I'm missing something here, or I'm not there enough. But that's in a good scenario. There's so many scenarios, though, where even if the parent really does want to spend more time with their child or try to help them when they go down some of these dark paths, especially in the teenage years, they feel completely helpless as to what to do, how to help their kid, especially when they are literally just trying to make ends meet. I mean, with husband's working DoorDash, she's working. They have very little time for much of anything, and they're trying to take up any sort of interest that their child has. Obviously, buying a gun for someone who clearly has mental health issues is not a good idea. But take the gun out of the equation for a moment. It's something I think a lot of parents are looking at, going, how can I be the perfect parent here? How can I, and I know it's not legislating being the perfect parent, but what am I supposed to do if there's something going on here, or I have red flags? How many red flags do I need? What should I be looking for? It's a lot, I think, for a lot of parents to think about taking on, of the potential threat of criminal action against them if something horrible happens.
Hey, listen, but that's the gig, right? If when you make the decision to have a child, that's your job is now to sacrifice.
I agree.
Right? That's what it is. The other thing is that, yes, there are absolutely groups of individuals who, for certain circumstances, aren't necessarily a major part of their child's life. And what I'm saying is that in order to have that positive relationship, it doesn't require you to always be physically present. You explain to your child in a developmentally appropriate way that the reason why that you're not always there as the parent is because, listen, the economy is this way and I have to have these jobs. If you're able to explain to your child, they'll understand. They'll only latch on if they think you're pulling away. If you tell them what is happening in a way that makes sense to them, it will understand, and the two of you can then have a much stronger bond because they will be able to assist you in whatever way that they are able to do so as the child, right? So if you're talking about, you have to, work 2 jobs. As a child gets older, they may recognize, hey, you know what? Maybe I help out my mom because I got to do all the cleaning in the house now. They take that on not as parentification, but as a notion of being a help inside the household.
And I can understand that. It's not always, how it works out. And I think sometimes the idea of explaining some of these things to a child in a age appropriate way is an idea to some parents that I don't think they would even understand.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.